Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene, Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to this Math Tier 2 intervention. Today's episode from the Math Tier 2 interventions, Reteach 4.1. We'll begin with our standard disclaimer. These videos are intended to provide some content to students who may have missed the in-person session on that given day. It is preferred and recommended that students attend the in-person session, as they will be able to interact with the teacher and their peers to help make meaning. All right, lesson 1, reteach. Estimate quotients. To estimate the quotient in a division problem, you use rounding or compatible numbers. Both of these concepts are meant to provide an easier way to complete the problems, and is only necessary when you don't need an exact answer. I request that you write things in as we go through them here in this video so that you have the resource available to you. So if you need to go grab a document, pause the video and go grab it. All right, so let's look at the first one, rounding. In rounding, remember that simple rule that if we're rounding to the hundreds, which is the third number from the right, the number to the immediate right of it determines if it's going to stay a 3 or go up a 4. So if this number is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, this just stays the same. Everything else in the whole number becomes 0. If this is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, this 3 goes up to 4, and everything else becomes a 0. Essentially, you should have one non-zero digit today, and then we'd be able to put zeros in the rest. Although that won't always be the case. If you're rounding to the tens place, here you might have 320 or 330. Step 1, round the divisor to the nearest 10. And divisor is the number that you're dividing by. So what is the nearest number to 53? Is it going to be 50 or 60? Well, this 3 tells you that this 5 should stay the same, so it's going to round to 50. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put 53 there. Got a step ahead. So 53 goes 50. Step 2, round the dividend, that's the number on this side, to the nearest 100. It won't always be the nearest 100. In this case, it is. So the number is 322. And now we have to round to the nearest 100. And as I mentioned moments ago, this 2 tells you that that 3 will stay the same. So it'll be 300. And then I divide. 5 goes into 36 times. So my answer is about 6. The other way is compatible numbers. And I have this one here, 643 divided by 78. And what I recommend, and I've seen the book used, is you first one around this close to a tens place. And this one's 80. Then I look at that first digit, and then I look at this first digit, which is also the first digit here. And I need a number that's going to be divisible easily by 8. And it just so happens that 8 times 8 is 64. So I can go with this, and we make it 640. If this had been 663, I'd either have to go 640 or 720. You want something that's easily divided. So looking at these first digits here are very important. Let's look at numbers 1 and 2 together. Estimate, show your work. So you're going to get to choose which of these two methods you're going to use. And the first one, 512 divided by 52. First, I'm going to figure out my divisor, and I'm going to go ahead and straight round this one because 50 is a pretty easy number to work with. And then I need to round this one to the nearest 100. 512 is closer to 500 than 600. Cross these two out. 5 goes into 50 10 times. So my answer is 10. So 512 divided by 52 is about 10. All right, let's look at the next one. 237 divided by 83. I'm going to round that second one to 80. And I have an 8, and I have a 23. This is one where I don't want to go to the nearest 100 because 200 divided by 80 still isn't an easy problem. Instead, I need something that's close to 23 that 8 goes into evenly. And my multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24. Ooh, 24. I'm going to put 24. And it's a 3-digit dividend, so I got to make sure I keep 3 digits by putting a 0 there. 240 divided by 80. And if you remember our trick to cross out 1 0 on each side, but you can only do that the same number of zeros on each side. And I have 24 divided by 8, which is 3. So 237 divided by 83 is about 3. I'm going to ask you to complete problems 3 and 4 independently and be able to show it to me during our next session. We will review these answers, but I always like to have you hold these up and see how we did. If you have any questions, reach out to me at mireland@psychchipschool.net, and we'll see you in our live stream during our next session. Bama P.